Morning Vietnam. Shooting this from a different angle this morning. I wonder if I get in trouble for this, you know. Some authorities see this on the YouTube and, you know, say, I'm driving fucking while he's videotaping. There's nobody on the island really. I rarely pass anybody. You know, I'm a little bit early today, so I'm driving not kind of smooth. I'll give you my perspective, what I see when I'm driving. It's always beautiful out here. I need to talk about the unemployment today. Yeah, we've been talking about the political scene and, you know, these guys being possessed, and that's why they're insane, because they're possessed by insane beings. But the unemployment problem, now what they're doing is, well, first of all, let's go back to the welfare problem. They want to drug test everybody on welfare. That's probably going to pass. Now, these people that bring the drugs in to the country make tons of money off of it, and mostly it somehow gets in the hands of the poor people. I don't understand that, because they have no money. And then you want to drug test them, and it's going to probably liquor test them too, because, you know, liquor is legal. And but, you know, I mean, if you're drunk all the time, it's even probably worse than being on drugs. I don't know, you know. They both cost a lot of money. I don't see how people can afford either one. But let me tell you something, up here on the island, everybody's a drinker, man. 12-pack a night, everybody. It's pretty crazy. And you know, they like to drink and the island life. But now they want to drug test unemployed people, and they want to cut or have more restrictions on who can collect unemployment and how much you're going to collect and for how many weeks. And of course, I've always said that the only way, and I've said this from the beginning, from when I lost my job, that the only way to get rid of the unemployed, or the only way to end the unemployment problem, is simply get rid of the unemployed people, because there's no jobs. 60% of the factories that closed in 2007, 2008, 2009 have not been reopened. And we see a lot of them being reopened as these solar panel factories and these windmill factories that they get a ton of money from the government. As soon as the money's all spent up and gone, they close them down and lay off everybody. And there's no word about that. Or the battery factories, that these big battery factories that's going to compete with overseas Asian factories for these batteries, for these cars that nobody's buying. And then they find out that the battery in America is going to cost like twice as much as the one from Korea, and it's the same freaking battery. So who's going to buy the, what are you going to buy, the American one because it's twice as much and made in America? And still the employees are only making, like, you know, a few dollars an hour. You know, I mean, it's not, nobody's getting rich off this on the bottom end. It's all on the top end. The people making money on the investments, the people making, the big CEOs, the people that plan this stuff. Crazy, man. They buy up the stock, and then the people in the know sell it before it goes down. And then mostly it's people in the government, because they know, they're in the know. And then they make themselves immune from prosecution. Well, we got to get rid of them. Yeah, I don't know. I said that last election too. But the unemployment problem, they're just making it go away by getting rid of the unemployed people. And they say that they're no longer looking for work. But how do you live and support yourself? Well, there's 55 million people on the food cards right now. And let me tell you something. Everybody is not accepted on those damn food cards. Out of the 55 million that are actually got the food card or whatever they have, there's probably twice that amount that applied for it and were turned down. So this is what's happening in America today. And you can say, well, it's compared to the Great Depression, where the food lines, where there's no soup lines. Well, what do you call the food cards? The food cards are just soup lines, digital style. That's all it is. Go to Walmart on the night before those things are activated, and you'll see for yourself. Go to any store now, because they're all competing for the people with the food cards, because there's so many of them. They're competing for the business. The unemployment's not going to get any better. As a matter of fact, all municipalities, all cities, everything is laying off right now. And if somebody summed up the coin, or coined the word, the Detroitization of America. Now look at Detroit. I should do a report on Detroit. What a mess. What a complete mess. But my heart's with the unemployed people. It's not going to, especially the older folks, because they're just flushing us down the drain. We paid taxes our whole entire life, just so these banks, if without us, these banks couldn't have got bailed out. Without us paying our taxes, without us digitally working our entire lives and sacrificing and consuming and having children and doing things that we were supposed to do, these banks couldn't have been bailed out. They never could have been bailed out if not for us, if not for the ants. The grasshoppers couldn't have got bailed out. And they did, and then they screwed the ants again. because they don't want us to rise up. They got to hold us down, and the unemployment is just part of the puzzle, man. You got to keep the unemployment high. You got to keep the immigration high, because let me tell you something about these immigrants from Albania and Romania and Russia. They've never had any fucking rights their whole life. They've never had any Bill of Rights, and they're used to it. So when they take them away, they're the perfect goddamn citizen. That's what it is, man. And they're coming in by the boatloads from South America, from all over the world. All these crazy, fucked up European countries. They're coming from all over. Yet every week they're coming into Detroit, even though there's no fucking jobs here. But they know that these guys will comply, man. They see somebody in uniform and they tremble, and they fucking know. They know that these guys are going to listen. Hey, we'll get rid of the Americans. You know, we got a zero population growth already, because nobody wants to have kids in this fucked up mess. It's got any sense, so we bring the immigrants in. It gives us a positive population growth. Even the Russians know better than that. They're not doing that shit, man. You know, they're encouraging their own people to have children. But like I said again, man, it's crazy. It's perplexing. And then we got all the signs in the sky, and people say, well, these signs have been going on forever. Yeah, but now we have the technology to see things that never before in history we can remember that man has been able to see out in outer space. Earthquakes all over the place, man. And yeah, it's happened forever, but now we have the technology that this morning I woke up and found out there was one in Mexico. Yesterday morning I woke up and found out there was a big one off the New Guinea. I mean, it's all technology. It's all adding up. Oh, it's a bridge. This is gonna be a scary bridge when it turns to ice, boy. That thing's gonna be frozen, man. It's metal. Oh God. All right, let's duck out.